those that want to be taken care of. You have a lot of them that don't want to be taken care of, that have alcoholism problems, and they get they get left on the street, and it's a problem when it gets cold. Let's try to get these people to force them to get into the police car and be taken down to the shelter. Look at this. There it is.
Yeah, Cedar Forest does look really interesting during the day.
Oh,
Hey, Dumbo, sorry it took me so long. I had to take care of some things and
but it's under the
message Tim on Twitter, and I actually had I had two people that see my tweet because YouTube they sent me another bot message that they rejected it again. So that's weird. And hopefully the live stream is still working. So I'm not gonna be able to pay attention much to the live stream because I want to make this a habit that I don't want to look at the stream too much. Because you said, oh, someone liked the live stream. You said that we had 3 people that subscribed yesterday. Also, if anyone has ever seen this, I want to share this because the Nintendo Switch is really interesting. And whenever your sister is around, she could definitely be talk to me in the live stream. I don't mind. I'm so sorry, Dumbo. Honestly, I try to make time for everything because I know that you get on here late, and I want to not be off topic. So first off, I'm still using my first Switch, right? And I was watching a video because I like this man's channel. His name is Nick Johnson. He's from North Carolina. It's titled "I Went to Ciudad Juarez," which is Mexico's top no-go zone. It's supposed to be where the drug cartels are located, kind of. It doesn't look that bad because my neighborhood, it doesn't look like this, but in some parts it is run down. And I walk at night, and we only live 2.5 hours away from the border, so it's really interesting, really. But besides that, oh, wait, I like hearing this noise. Oh, okay, I have the sound up. So for some interesting reason, I have to update it again because it describes here ready to start system update. The update would not take long. An update now. Check the update. Or once the update is complete, the console will restart. Because I want to go on the YouTube app, right? So it's so weird. Let's see. Oh, wait a minute. Um, that was weird. Okay, here it is. All right, it says here the Nintendo account and user license agreement and privacy policy has been updated. They always do these automatic updates, and please sign into your Nintendo account again and review the updated info. So basically, what that means, I believe, is that the Nintendo Switch is still getting updates, even though millions of people already bought the Switch 2. And for some reason, I can actually select the software. Wait, hold on. Oh yeah. Also, I like to name this username this. It has Toon-Link in it. All right, that's weird. I can play on my game, but if I want to go on the YouTube app, I will have to update it. So the reason why I want to do this because I know people can't view what I would watch on my live streams, and I feel maybe a little bit unfair for them to not see anything. I wanted to talk about the different types of animations that because sorry, see that's the game that's starting, right? So the thing is on Twitter, because I thought I could just make my topics a little bit diverse as much as possible, and I'm using the Energizer. These are the last 2 batteries my mother has. So I don't know who's been voting because you don't know what you're the only one that's been commenting. So the council is already working. All right, so let me get on the. Hold on. If you can hear the sound. Okay. I love that sound. So I'm going to start the software. Close the game. Get on my username. And then, that's right. I'm already signed in though, so I don't get that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to update it, right? It says preparing. See, it gives me this interesting notice. So let me do that. I haven't touched my Switch in, I think, a few weeks now. It says here the console will restart once. Yeah, go ahead. Any suspended software be closed. Yeah, go ahead. And I hate how it has so many darn updates. A little spitty. Anyway, oh, that was quick. The system will restart, so it's gonna do that automatically. I didn't turn it off. If anyone ever has the Switch One, or I don't like to call it the Switch One, the Switch, do not feel guilty if you saw the first one because, well, I know Bronny has the second one. It's just, I know it's a better version of it, but it's just basically an upgraded version. There's nothing that different about it. So the thing is, for the ones that are viewed here, and that didn't took as long as I thought it would be. And Dumb, I wish I could donate one to you. I wish I could. And Tim, he's been doing fine because I did message him earlier, and I can get back on the YouTube app on the Switch. And yeah, that's what it's like. Oh, but I just downloaded it. What? Okay, I never had this before. Oh my god, this is interesting. The Nintendo account user agreement. Yeah. I already did this though. Can I screenshot this? No, I cannot. Yes, I agree. Wait, actually, hold on. Let me read the policy. But yeah, of course my Switch is in the US. Probably because the Switch 2 got released. I had to be 18 in order to use this? What does that supposed to mean? I don't know what the heck all of this is about. See, that's what I'm reading. I know people don't like to read the terms of services. I do sometimes. Heck, I did it when I first joined YouTube and when I used to do online services just to earn us money. Not so. You may not make use of the Nintendo account services. Oh, I think it's always been like this. I just don't really pay notice to it. Oh, well, the Smash Ultimate's been updated. You've barely seen it. All right, it's something important. They think I'm gonna mod or whatever. It's fine. Back. Wait, what countries does the Switch have? They got Tanzania. They got Ukraine. They don't have South Korea in here? Why? That's weird. No South Korea? See, I'm sorry. This is a little bit random, but weird. They got Uzbekistan in here. They got Yemen for some interesting reason. But see, they skipped South Korea and they only got South Africa. That's weird. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I agree. Right. Because I'm not agree to everything. Honestly. I don't know what other people are doing with their Switch 2. I don't really give a watch this film because I'm still using the original. I just wanted to call it the Switch. That's a Switch 1. I don't want to make this a habit now. All right. So the thing is, you could use YouTube. That was weird. I just okay. I didn't knew that the YouTube made a sound, unless I already had the sound on mute. So the thing is, Dumbo, what's interesting that you can watch YouTube on your Switch. You can watch as a guest, and okay, did it wipe off all my history? No, it didn't. So okay, Deon, we're on. Good. So the thing is, if I want to look up, let's just say, because I want to talk about animations, right? that the thumbnail that you've seen is Dragon Ball Super. It's basically, Dragon Ball, right? It's supposed to be one of the newer versions of it. So if I would play, let's just say, um, I'm not sure how I'm gonna do this. Hell, I could just, well, this is a touchable screen. So the thing is, let's just say I want to play my Buddha. Did it froze? Oh my Buddha. Come on. This is gonna take a bit. I'm so sorry about darn it. If anyone's ever reviewed this, please pardon me for not getting straight to the topic. I don't want to act. I have to be professional every time. It's exhausting, and I don't know how do YouTubers do that because I think it's really rude when people will rush other people. So if you're not that patient, then I totally suggest that you view those other people instead. So this is what it looks like, right? And you can actually watch different videos on here. So I always do this a lot. And I'm glad that you agree with the title. So basically, the reason I want to share this, right? And I got, yeah, there's, of course, there's ads on the Switch. I don't know why we're back down to one view because we had a couple other people, but they keep leaving. So yeah, it's been like this ever since the Switch basically got released. So 3 people, I guess there's a total of 4, voted that he's a zoophile, and one that asks who he is. He's just some random man that lives in Minnesota, I think in Minneapolis, that basically does weird pranks, or what's to say, he sometimes was sexually harassed towards one of people I've seen. Well, not always, but he acts weird, and he's a guy that I don't really respect for, and he gives people that are, let's just say, that do go to depression or even suicide thoughts or loneliness, a terrible reputation. So basically, this is why Big Bang Vegeta with 2 A's. This is what the old Dragon Ball looks like, right? I know the audio isn't that great. Aren't you being a little strict? I always love this clip. So I want to point this out very quick, right? So the reason why I do like the old Dragon Ball is because this came out in the early 90s, which a lot of people remember buying. And you can see how great the animation looks, even though this is probably a horrible example of an animation based on not the first Dragon Ball, but Dragon Ball Z, right? Which is supposed to be after the original Dragon Ball that is in the mid 80s. This is more the mid 90s, right? Also, I just want to play the rest of this clip. Sucks. I don't know why it's so low. I know the auto's a little bit low. Sure, yeah, because she died. And I love how they made them like chibis in this scene. So the thing is, basically, what I really adore about the Dragon Ball Z series, right, is the way that they are hand drawn, and we had to think. I forgot his name. I feel like a criminal for not knowing his name. The one that basically invented the Dragon Ball series that is loved by basically half a billion, or no, 3 billion people on this earth, give or take, at least. And let's just say if I bring a clip of Dragon Ball Super, for example, right? Now, Dragon Ball Super is still great. It is, because I watch every episode. Me and Casey, we used to basically watch it together. And why is it an official clip? I already finished Dragon Ball Super as it is. So the thing is, oh, someone actually uploaded a whole movie of it. I'm not running 30 damn seconds. Pardon my language. Okay, I always get this weird type of ad about Donald Trump. Yeah, I'm not interested. It's old news. So this is what Dragon Ball Super looks like, right? Now I just love the Dragon Ball series in general, even though I notice that people probably don't like the quality because it doesn't seem as detailed, right? Even though I do like how it looks all soft. He's adorable. So the thing is, you can't really tell because the I'd say the Dragon Ball Super animation looks really great. Again, for the ones that are viewing this, okay, I'm not sure if people are still interested in my videos. And again, I try not to constantly compare myself to other channels that have good setups and whatnot. That's not gonna sluggish me down. I just hope that you basically do not take creators that have less equipment for granted, or you should just not view them and just go somewhere else and snaggle off. The thing is, basically, in some of the fights of Dragon Ball Super, right? And again, I cannot look at the screen because I'm gonna be 10. I'm like Toph from Avatar. If you don't know who Toph is, just Google it. Okay, so the thing is, basically, a lot of people, for what I've been seeing on Twitter, have an issue with some animation scenes, right? I know I give a poor example of Dragon Ball because the thing is, Dragon Ball Z that you've seen, all of that is hand drawn. Dragon Ball Super is more computer animated, even though it looks great. However, though, there are some clips, right, that you've seen on the download that I basically have downloaded, is how Goku's facial expressions seem unedited. Think about if someone will make a meme, or I guess you could say doing Photoshop, or just using some weird filters that makes them look droopy, similar to Oompa Loompas from the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. The thing is that you cannot see the details of their hands, or it looks as though it's just plain, or it's as though it's I think they call it Microsoft Paint, but the poor quality version, part of my bird. And it's kind of funny to explain this, and I did put the word Zalpha. It's the actual term. At least I think it should be, right? It's same way as the word Zelennial. Zelennial is someone that is born between 2000 and 1990. Damn, I think it's six. Wait, no, wait. I'm a millennial. Shoot, I forgot what year it is. Because the thing is, Generation Z, there are in '96. I could be wrong. I forgot. I didn't pay notice though. I think it's you're between two generations, right? But maybe I can't explain it. I am a zillennial, which means I am a youthful millennial, or I am the elder of Generation Z people. If that makes sense, because I could relate to more people that are Generation Z when it comes to growing up and being raised on social media versus the ones that haven't, I suppose. And for Zalpha, these are people that are in high school, or let's just say they recently graduated. I don't remember. I apologize for that. But the thing is that animations, okay? I'm sorry, because I'm not really good. This is around topic I want to share. If I could give one more cartoon example, okay? The one that I grew up in, because again, I am a Zillennial, okay, is Teen Titans that I did put in the description. The reason why I want to use this compared to Teen Titans Go, right? I know the Dragon Ball is not a good reputation, because the thing is, the reason why Dragon Ball is so lovable is that when you see those fights, those are all hand drawn, and how they have fast movements, especially the clip when you got Goku that would battle against Frieza. Beautiful, right? Now, again, I was in elementary when I gotta wait for these ads. Also, I do want to see that movie Elio, because I do wonder how they'll be like. Because I know people may not like that movie, and it sucks that there's only 2 viewers on here. This is 2003, right? Now you may be thinking, yeah, Trust of the Three is old, but back then for me, 2003 is futuristic, right? So if I could get an example, because they got full episodes of Teen Titans. No, oh no, there was a bed bug that clawed on my shirt. Damn it! I think we got rid of them. Hold on. See, I'm sorry. That's a bed bug. You can't see it. Let me flush it. I'll be back. What I'm gonna do later on, I'm gonna have to fill up this bottle with soap and then spread over the floor because the thing is, bed bugs are really weak against soap and hot water. Just a little hack for anyone that struggles with it, they die really quick. I know because we used to have bed bugs in our old castle, and I got rid of 90% of them. You know, we still had the bug inspector, right? There wasn't that much left over, so I want to assure that. Don't worry. If that was the case, I would have gotten bitten, but I haven't. Okay, I just wanted to assure that. If you want to make fun of me for that, that's because my situation is terrible because I'm not rich. Then I don't want you here because it will be harassment for the ones that want to bully on the ones that are less fortunate. I'm sorry. I just want to share that. I'm just not happy go lucky because I'm not that type of person. That's not healthy. I'm sorry. This isn't Unikitty. So this is the animation of Teen Titans, right? If I could give an example.
Right now, all that matters is how we stop it. Cyborg, check out the bridge. Raven, take the park. Beast Boy, the pier.
Gross.
We're going after Slade.
You see the rain effect? I'm not kidding.
Not, Robin. We will stop him.
We have no other choice. Robin, I'm at the bridge. Did you find the seismic generator? Man, I can't find diddly. No signs of anything unusual.
Do you know how gorgeous the rain effect looks? This was my generation in elementary. Elementary because I was 8, going on 9 when Teen Titans first came out. Now, when I was about to graduate, this is what Teen Titans look like. Again, they're not the same. This is supposed to be, let's just say, a comedy, but that's because it is. Doesn't mean that they have to decrease the quality. I just want to be honest. If I could give you a random example, this is Power Struggle. I can't believe this came out 11 years ago. This is what Teen Titans Go looks like.
Gotta get off my feet. They're killing me. Why doesn't anybody ever sweep around here? This floor is disgusting.
Yeah, you see the downgrade in the background. I'm sorry, Robin. I used to do reactions at Teen Titans Go, right? I know a lot of my viewers were children at the time. I didn't know that because I thought adults watching this. The thing is, this is a decade ago, right? So let's just say if you grew up in the 20 teens, that's when I guess you could say the quality kind of went a little downhill for animations because back then we had the original Teen Titans that you just seen on the previous clip, right? When the Titans are underneath the rain, right? You could just see how beautifully programmed it looked, right? I always wonder if they use computer animated for the rain. If it's hands-on, I'm shocked. I don't know how they did it. I don't want to know, right? Versus Teen Titans Go, right? Which again is supposed to be some spinoff, right? When they're supposed to be chibi sites. It's dumb because you got Robin that's supposed to be the emo type. Robin, who's basically this a nobody. Cyborg, well, kind of like a black stereotype. Starfire being a blonde stereotype, right? Hint, hint, being dumb. And then Beast Boy, well, I don't know. This is surfer dude, right? Even though he looks much cooler in the original. it's so ironic of how we basically, I don't know how to explain this because I don't think many people are interested in this, right? Because I don't know. Okay, I didn't plan to talk about this, even though I was interested to talk about it. The thing is basically I was viewing it on Twitter, right? We have the Ben 10. Okay, I had a crush on Ben 10 growing up. I thought he was hot. Also, I think boys with a name Ben are attractive. I don't know why. It's hard to explain it because I want to talk about it, okay? Because again, I grew up in that at that era. If I could give an example, okay, cartoons are the 20 teens. This or yeah, that's right. It's supposed to be Cartoon Network bumpers. So if you don't know what Cartoon Network bumpers are, they're basically the crossovers of the 2000s, right? So basically, um, hold on. It's hard to type and speak at the same time. So bumpers are again cartoons that will cross over with other cartoons, right? And again, these came out 2 decades ago. So when my boot up, my controller is doing it again. Sorry about that because I got the controller drift of death. It basically means when your controller or GameCube controller is damaged, not the batteries, it happens, and I need to get an upgrade. And I don't know where the top of the piece is, but it's fine. So basically, bumpers, if I could give a good one, there's so many of them on YouTube, or a handful. Let me. Oh, okay. I just want to say this looks pretty cool, even though I never played Fortnite. That's supposed to be a Squid Game, right? That looks really, really cool. I just wanted to share that. Um, Basically, if I could give a good example, right? You got these different cartoon characters from other universes that basically encounter one another. And one of my favorites, of course, is Edited and Eddie, right? And pardon me for the awful audio. That's why I got the subtitles. And we got the old Cartoon Network logo. Hold on, let me get the actual crossovers. Hold on. Oh, that's Dexter's Laboratory. That's showing his ass crack. Oh, brother. See, that doesn't count. I need to find crossovers, though, because that's in their own universes. Hold on. Yeah, hold on. Let me find another one. Wait, Deon, I think it's the same one. Yeah. Here we go. I'm trying to find some good ones. Please pardon me. All right, perfect. So here it is, right? So this is Ed. Okay, hold on. This may be going a little bit fast. That's Ed, right? From Ed and Eddie. I basically did a crush on him growing up. Again, I watched almost, I think I did watch every episode, and I did play the game in class back in middle school. That's how old I am. They don't have that anymore. It was on the Cartoon Network site, right? Including Process on for Imaginary Friends. And let me just press play. That's Professor from the Powerpuff Girls. That's number one from Conan Kids Next Door. Stupid Dexter. He says, how many geniuses does it take to unlock? I love this. I love this so much. The reason why I miss this era is because imagine these are basically cartoon characters we had back then, right? That are supposed to be in our universe that basically interact with each other from other universes in one universe. It actually makes sense, right? We wouldn't have that our Cartoon Network to this day because even though the 2010s did suck a little bit, we still basically have unique bumpers of children that kind of react to the little cartoons. We don't have that anymore. If you know what I'm talking about, and let's just say in the early 2020s, basically during COVID, we have it was pretty cool, but kind of lame of how we got them and weird, not CGI. And when you have a YouTube account and you see those weird blobby animations that look downright terrible, you know what I mean, right? When you basically create a Google account and you see the little animation, it's like that. And the funny thing is, we only see those art cartoons. And I don't know how it is now because since we basically got evicted and guess our will, still miss my apartment, of course. I still want to get it back, 260. I just want to share that. Okay, I don't care if people know where I live. Honestly, Well, that's why I got my Google reviews to have people know. Okay, because I don't want to hide anymore. And basically, the reason why I don't like Cartoon Network as much is because there's a lack of diversity, and not to mention from before we lost our castle, right? There was this constantly repeated. Okay, I love Gumball, right? I'm a fan, just like other people are. But the thing is, what kind of gives me a little irritated, I guess you could say this is a cartoon pet peeve of mine, or cartoon peeve, is how it airs too much. Let's just say 3 times a day, and don't get me started with Teen Titans Yuck. That would also air 3 times a day. We mostly just had the Maze Runner and Gumball, and basically 2 times ago, we don't even have Bears, which I miss watching, or even the older cartoons that used to air. And heck, they even stopped airing Teen Titans, the original. They would only air that once in a yellow moon, right? Basically, my favorite cartoon that you've seen, not Teen Titans Go, right? The original, and they would only air that once every weekend in the morning. I remember I would wake up early just to watch an episode. I missed that, being on my airbed and just, being a little comfy and in my bed, while I think it's during the winter while it's cold out, and just enjoying watching an episode while my brother is on his way home from work. I miss that. So let me continue again. That's Mandy.
Try the door.
Silly me. Thanks.
Whatever. Right. Does anyone have some names?
I love this so much because the way that they interact with one another. We do not have that anymore. See, I think the reason why it's kind of funny, it reminds me of the episode of The Simpsons when Marge says, boy, everything's sure turned into crap. She's correct on that because the thing is, the quality of creativity has went downhill. I guess we're going through a phase, right? I like to call it the internet depression. Basically, what I mean by that is we're kind of copying one another. We're basically afraid to stand out for some reason. It's kind of weird because we're supposed to be, especially since gay marriage is more legalized and accepting now, and people being furries, which I definitely do support, unless, well, what Luffy did, I'm against that. And for some reason, because I've seen a video of a really cute Asian guy, I think he's Asian, that basically described of why people are so mean online. It's because we're becoming more of echo chambers, right? Basically, in my era, as a millennial, I feel awful for my Zalphas that won't get to experience this. Growing up, I used to be on different sites that are no longer, they're extinct. Or I like to call it cyber extinct, right? Basically, a website that used to exist that no longer exists. So if I could give an example, I used to be on TeenSpot when I was I think I was in high school, because I met a gay black guy with a nice six-pack, but this is well before I knew I was a spade, because he wanted to make out, and I'm thinking, well, what is he doing? I'm a spade, right? Again, I like to say I'm a spade questioning, because yes, that is part of my sexuality. It is, but I don't fully know who I am yet, if that makes sense, right? I like to keep people guessing, right? And yes, there's a flag of if someone doesn't know their full sexuality yet, if that makes sense. I like to keep it a secret, unless for people that really get close to me, right? And I used to be honored to check with other teenagers. I even talked to a cute Latino boy that was from San Diego, right? And then another white guy that I never met, right? It was a really great site for teenagers to interact with other teenagers without, even though, of course, you got to talk to someone that is not too far of your age gap, right? Just because they're teens, let's just say 19, doesn't mean that a 14-year-old should talk to them, or at least meeting up with them, right? If that actually makes sense. And it sucks because teens don't not have as much hell. I mean, even I think for adults it's probably worsening, right? I don't know how to explain it. Safety space, right? Because that's what I used back then. Again, teens is basically a website that teens can talk with other teens, and you let's just say it's like YouTube or a mixture of Facebook or Fakebook. You can see how many people view your profile. You can actually upload actual photos I did, right? Of, let's just say it was a picture. My very first profile when I first started joining online, because I was still anonymous, was Goku that dressed as a clown, a Christmas clown, for some odd reason, and then it later became a South Park character. I still have my old fake book photos of screenshots of. I don't think I have Team Spot screenshotted out. But I used to use that and talk to other teams on there, right? Again, this is a long time ago, way before, well, I grew up around, I've seen a couple of videos. I grew up around, I don't know, the, I don't know what era, the emo, Justin Bieber, um, punk era. I just know we grew up with the Annoying Orange and Fred, right? That's all I remembered. And Tobuscus. Yes, he even added me as a friend. I'm not kidding, right? I still got my old emails as proof when these large YouTubers used to add me as friends. Yes, I've been on YouTube that long, okay? This is well before I no longer became anonymous, right? I even would have my phone number up, and I don't think I have my address, but my phone number, because it was a different time back then, right? If you have your address up, you shouldn't do that. No one's gonna attack or dox you. I'm not kidding. I used to do it a lot. I know I shouldn't, but I guess because I was a loner without knowing that I would be a loner this long. And it sucks monkey balls, because back then, though, we had such diversity. We even had Yahoo Answers. I never had an account, right? But, pardon me, I used to go on there. I mean, I literally have old video footage. I would consider it as lost online media of me reading stuff on there, even though I was watching porn at the time. Well, I had the porn tabs open. I think it was Pornhub, because I first discovered it when I was 17. Very different period, right? So back then there was more creativity, but now it's more of a minimalistic AI type of problem, right? Also, I just saw a video of a teacher that made AI child sex abuse material with the students. He needs life in prison. I was shocked to hear that. That's another problem I don't like about some YouTubers. Okay, again, it's okay to use AI to an extent. Okay, the same way, let's just say that you would want to be a VTuber, just do not act inappropriately, or I don't know. Okay, I don't use none of that stuff. Okay, we didn't have that back then. So it's the same way like cartoons, right? Animations become less creative. The same way there's a great channel. His name is Extra Mint. I'm not kidding. That's his username. I've been seeing a few of his videos. One of the best channels out there. Where I'm kind of jealous because the way that he makes his videos so well produced. Okay, it's intimidating. It is. He basically talks about how, logos, right? Corporate logos, etc. Especially since I'm autistic. Okay, us Aspies, we kind of are a little bit obsessed with logos. I'm not kidding. It's a thing, right? If you think about when you watch, uh, again, I went over this in my other live streams. When you think about a logo, uh, let's just say Jimmy Neutron, right? And you got this weird, creepy, it's not AI, it's CGI. There is a difference. Okay, CGI is computer animated. AI, well, it's automatic animated. It's basically canny because you didn't really edit and put life into that, let's just say, character. AI is just basically botted. Let's just say it's a zombie robot, right? That basically is brain dead, right? I know Double loves this because he loves zombies, right? There's a difference, okay? That's the problem I have for animations. Basically, it's supposed to be this Triclops monkey that was says, "Hi, I'm Paul." That a lot of people are scared of, right? I think it was pretty cool, right? And then you got these twisted palm trees in the background that are moving. I don't know how they do that. And it has that right, animation. It looks as though it's made of jello, right? We don't have that. If you have noticed that, right? We don't have that type of animation. Sorry if I'm spraying here. I didn't mean to. And basically everything is becoming a little bit too minimalistic. If you look at whatever, if you're using a smartphone, right? Okay, smartphones may not be a good example. If you're using a desktop or a laptop, you see how the bottom of your, Deon, I think it's called, I forgot what it's called. your little handle. You see those little cute logos in the bottom? They're becoming more cartoonic, right? And that's an issue. It depends. I do like how it looks on my MacBook, but let's just say if it's maybe a Dell Windows or whatever people use Linux, right? It looks a little gross looking, right? It looks dull. It looks whack. It doesn't look it's not the bomb, if that makes sense, right? Because there's a lack of creativity of the way that they're designed. Also, if anyone that are supporters of my channel, I hope Stolas and the others haven't been blocked, because if so, then I don't know what's wrong with YouTube, because I haven't checked if it was blocked by accident. So please pardon me, because I think Double is the only one that's here. Okay, that's the problem that I have for animations, is because they're not putting their heart and, I guess you could say, sweat into their work. They go out Studio Ghibli, right? That created Spirited Away, House Moving Castle, Kiki's Delivery Service. I've only seen House Moving Castle, Ponyo, and Spirit Away. I've only seen those three. And the animations are gorgeous. But the thing is, some animes today doesn't look that good. They look kind of similar to one another, my opinion. It depends, right? Because I'm an otaku. The thing is, though, there's a lack of detail. Think about AI, but it's not AI, and it's just a simple drawing, right? I don't see details on their faces, right? I don't see any spots or this details that make them more realistic and cartoon realistic. So basically, think about my drawing that I did, right? You can see how mine, even though it's traced, I put detail on it, right? Also, I gave Luffy a smiley face because he frowned in this scene from one of the episodes in a pre-time skip. And again, for this one, when he's shirtless, because, well, you know why I like to draw him shirtless, right? And you can see the details from my pen, even though I would give him a little bit a faded detail, right? Sometimes I would use my saliva or lightly colored in his body to give details, right? That to me is art, is animation. Even though I cannot do art, I can only do trace art, right? That's what I'm good at. And that's a problem for a lot of animations that you see, because the creativity is a little bit empty, because I'm guessing they want to make a budget, or not a budget, they want to make money off of it. But the thing is, though, they're hurting themselves in the long run, because look at Teen Titans. It's still lovable today. People are still talking about it, right? Teen Titans Go, I don't really care for anymore, right? People are going to get tired of it. Teen Titans, however, even though it is more than two decades ago, is still a lovable series that a lot of people like to this day, right? Which makes it memorable. Again, animation, at least from an gaming perspective, how Shigeru Miyamoto would say, you do not rush a game to be. I forgot what the quote that he said. I love that quote. And normally I do not like quotes. If you rush a game to get finished, it's going to be terrible. You see why I always play Smash Ultimate? Because it's fun, it's addicting. I love playing it. Even though it does have the best graphics, I don't give a watch the spin. The gameplay is what matters. Even though gaming has its own different form. A game doesn't need to have great graphics to be playable. At least, excuse me, Nintendo-wise, right? Compared to, let's just say, Rockstar, right? You know who Rockstar is. That's different because, well, that type of gaming company is more for adults. Smash Brothers, which is Nintendo, right? They're more family-oriented. It's a gameplay that matters. You look at Super Mario Odyssey, even though the graphics are downright gorgeous, right? It is still playable to this day. Even, heck, I even just viewed Pika Spray Blue playing Super Mario 64 last night. I didn't finish all of it, but it feels so nostalgic just watching it again, and I love him for that. Also, what I like about Pika Spray Blue is that even though he doesn't have the budget to be a VTuber, I forgot what he called himself. He's a different type of VTuber, but he's not, right? He has this cute robotic girl with a helmet or something. I wasn't paying attention to his animation. It has a cute little tiny symbol on it, and it has a mouth that moves, right? That's it. You know, he has these cute facial animations. I like that for him because that's creative. And he has a ooh ooh. I'm sure Dumbo knows what I mean by that, right? Um, if you have a cat, you understand, right? He does that type of animation compared to the VTuber. So it acts, oh yeah, this is so crazy. You know, I love this. You know, it looks so good. I'm sorry. It bothers me when they have those animations. It sounds though they're snobby, they're kind of rich, and they're kind of in a cult because it seems behind doors the people are abusive. Not always, but those YouTubers give me the they kind of give me the unsafe ick because I don't want to support them. They act like that. I'm sorry. Pika Spray Blue though, he's more monotone, and oh yeah, he even did like a cute redneck stare. You know, people in the application. I can't pronounce it. For people in the deep south when they talk country, I'm sorry, the way he pulls that off, it makes me laugh. I want to give an example because it's adorable. It's from basically his Paper Mario videos, right? And also, I want to share this while I'm searching for it. I've been, if you see my playlist, I have been commenting on more videos. That way, I could get more exposure because I thought that might be the only way that I could get more attention. And for the ones, even though I'm sure Dubbo is the only one that's been doing the work on my videos, it would be lovely more if people would comment. Okay, I wanted to basically have more people um join my channel, if that makes sense. Also, when I'm looking at Pikachu right now, I love his thumbnails. They're adorable, especially how he got those big red eyes. It's adorable. I love his thumbnails. They're really cute. I wanted to share that. Basically, again, it's a robotic girl that has long white hair, right? And he has different outfits. It's so creative. I don't see other VTubers, or I don't consider him as a VTuber. I consider him as a game tuber, period, right? I don't see others doing what he's doing. I'm sorry. Okay, it takes a lot of creativity to do that. He will give his gaming avatar, I like to call it, okay, these adorable random costumes, especially in his mall party let's plays. I've seen him doing that. I love it, right? Other VTubers, they can do jack squat, and yet they got way more money than he does. I'm thinking you need to put more creativity, and yet you want to call us less creative? No, thank you. Also,
Hey, Mika.
Meta AI.
Yeah.
That's pretty
Gotta
cool.
change everything.
All right, I want to say this. Is this really AI? Okay, it's okay. Again, you know how I'm saying I don't like AI, right? As Professor Hubert Farnsworth says, it's how you, well, not this, but it's when Amy is trying to cool down the earth when these adorable cats want to stop the planet from mutating. He basically would tell her, technology is not evil. It's how you use it, right? I would love to buy something like this. Basically, this is an ad of a black guy. I think he looks mixed. That is wearing these white glasses that have cameras on it. That is so cool. I want to get myself one of those, which means you can actually record yourself. Oh, I want to get myself one instead of just having to hold my camera. Especially since I'm afraid I may drop it. And also, you can look up if I'm checking the weather or whatnot. I want to get myself a pair. You actually can record them. Like you can do video footage. Imagine you're wearing glasses, right? But it's an point of view, first person. I want to get myself one of those. That is an awesome ad. So, Deon, I think it's called Meta AI, right? I support that. That is AI that I like. What I don't like about AI is just how people use it for inappropriate reasons. Whether that's pornographic, okay? Whether that be stock images that just look really gross, right? Again, it depends, okay? Or if you were to do it for your homework, well, okay, back in my era, in order us, because I cheated, okay? So I want to share this by experience. We would use Wikipedia or Google just to do stuff, right? So back then, that was our AI because we were copy and paste certain resources. So I get it. But we only do it for little pieces of it. Because if we did more than, let's say, a paragraph, well, I think we could jump to a paragraph. It depends on how long your report or essay is. Then it's considered plagiarizing. You know, that's the AI that at least what people use or chat, whatever it's called, or even if you want to date someone while you're in a relationship, I don't support that. So this is the character that Pika sprayed, let's just say impression. It made my organs laugh. I want you to hear it. The video, by the way, is titled Paper Mall, The Downgraded Door 64, TDYD 64, Hard Mode, Played You Part 6. Again, Pika Spray Blue, right? Paper Mario. He did a playlist of it.
Weather. They need the sun's rays. I don't like the rain either because I can't play outside. I like rain, Mario.
And by the way, he's my age.
Hey guy, where are you going? He looks like he'd have a voice like this, so I'm gonna talk like this for him. Petunia? Oh yeah, Petunia, straight west from here. Yeah, west. Oh, sorry, I can't tell you anymore, not even if you ask. Let me tell you Guy, where are you going? He looks like he'd have a voice like this, so I'm gonna talk like this for him. Oh, Petunia? Oh yeah, Petunia, straight west from here. Yeah, west. Oh, sorry, I can't tell you anymore, not even if you ask. Hey, superstar, let me fill you in on something. You can get yourself one fine gift if you hit the tree. 3 trees in a row in this order. Left, right, middle. Yeah? It's true, I swear. Oops, told you too much. No more secrets out of me. That's top.
He's Canadian, by the way. He is Canadian. I want to say for anyone in the South, I do not want you to feel guilty, okay? If you talk like this, I would love to be around you. This isn't made to make fun of you, okay? Because I love how people in the South talk. Think about Sandy, okay? You know how I'm talking about Sandy Cheeks? I know a lot of you Southerners love her, right? Again, I love how Southerners have this. Even though I do not like the South for some random reasons, unless you're from Georgia, okay? FYI, I love accents like this. Also, I have to share this because he makes me love him even more as a YouTuber, even though I'm picky what he uploads. Whatever he uploads, I'm not kidding. I will watch, I think I watch half of it. These are long. These are at least 3 hours apart. Pardon me. There's 8 videos, right? And these videos are 3 hours. When I was in my depression, I watched at least half of them at one night. Or yeah, I think I watched 2 of them. I would not want to skip a second out of this Pika spray playing Paper Mario. I'm not kidding. I watch every single one. Okay, I love him that much. Also, like, kind of a crush on him. You know, he's straight as a ruler, right? It's because of his personality. It's kind of hot. Also, when he said that he was stretched, I don't know why. That's kind of a turn on. So him, I just, pardon me. I wanted to share that, okay? And Asmongold. Oh yeah, I want to say if anyone's from the South, if you're from Texas, okay, I reckon. I'm not sure if we're getting any Texans in here in the live stream because I doubt that people would view my live streams as it is. I've heard of what happened of the flood that happened in Central Texas around the San Angelo region. I hope to Buddha's belly that you basically are able to evacuate until the water dries up, hopefully, and basically not having your supplies being washed off because again, we do have floods here. Well, they're extremely rare during monsoon. We do have them. They don't last that long, right? So I wanted to share that because I've seen that earlier. Also, this is share this for my viewers in the South. Okay, and yeah, so I'd like to talk about something draw. I want to share this. Whoa!
Listen, there's been a mistake. I sent you my payment on I'm sorry, could you repeat that? Practice your flouncing. Flounce here. Flounce here.
Hit, hit.
Hey, bro, spare some change.
That's King of the Hill, by the way.
Good night. Thanks for the lift.
I love my Texas for this. I do. Again, we do get a lot of Texas that move here. I want to share that one more time.
Thanks for the lift.
The reason I want to play this, okay, as us Americans, right? A lot of people thinking that we don't have good cartoons. This is one of the best cartoons. If you're a Texan or if you're from the South, okay, you know what I'm talking about, right? You should be proud as a damn American, I reckon, right? Or reckon my boots, you know, out of the varmints coming out of my boots, right? So I'm trying to talk in a Southern drawl, right? Again, I don't really have a deep Southern accent because I have more, or at least I adapted the Midwestern accent. Whoever, if that makes sense, because me ma is from Kansas City, right? The city of fountains, right? The thing is, basically, this is a good example of why I love animations like this, because if you look up the old King of the Hill, again, this is a cartoon, right? But the thing is, though, they're like us in a way. You can tell that they're human animated characters that are drawn, right? You know, I don't see drawn. They look like to be people in real life in a way, right? Hank, Peggy, Bobby, Eisenhower? That's his name, right? Dave, Bill, Johnny Redcord, he basically rested in native heavens out there because he got killed for being gay, or at least something like that I made a while back. I didn't hear all the news, but you know, just because he's drunk or whatever doesn't deserve his death, literally, okay? You know what I'm talking about, right? Because of how well animated the series is. Also, this is supposed to be a compilation of him going, I can't do it, okay? Oh yeah, the bathroom.
My first period.
Tomorrow's paper tomorrow.
First, New York, New York. Hey, I'm picking up the Boeing yard. Get off the roof. You're up there with that cape again, so help me. Oh. Whoa! Why would you want that? Oh.
I'm an actor.
Oh. What the? Want to come in for a beer? Oh.
I love this. And I want to share this. If anyone that lives in Dumbo State, okay, again, if you're a deep Southern person, and pardon me for not looking at the chats, unless we get more active people, then I'm not going to do this as much, but Dumbo knows already. I'm not a fan of this cartoon, but I know a lot of Southerners know what this is, or at least they heard of it. I'm not going to tell you the name. Again, I used to grow up with Adult Swim, and I know a lot of deep Southerners like watching it as much as I do. So here, oh my Buddha, that's graphic. Here is an example, right? Even though I don't know none of the damn characters. Oh shit. Oh wait, oh. Okay, never mind. Wait, why did Odyssey update it? I don't even have the game inserted. So, if anyone, I'm not sure Dumbo knows about this, it's Squidbillies, right? Even though I'm not a fan because it's a little too grotesque, and again, I'm not from the Deep South, so hope that y'all reckon about that. The thing is, the reason why even though it is a little too grotesque for me, or it's a little bit too redneck, the animations look amazing, right? Because it's hard to explain it. It's basically, it's like hand drawn, and painted at the same time. It's lazy, but it's really creative because I know for people in the deep south, they're known for being really educated, a little bit backward, etc. It takes so much creativity to basically have shows like this, right? And again, I grew up with Opportunity Hunger Force, which if anyone that basically is in the Northeast, right, you know what I'm talking about. If you're from New Jersey, for example, right? Basically, my mother's boyfriend is from there. I think he did grew up in New York, right? Basically, it's like that. It's kind of a little lazy, but it's creatively lazy, right? Which is what I like about cartoons like this. Okay, and again, these are basically for goddamn older teens and adults. Okay, sorry. I know Southerners may be a little offended, but the thing is, they should not feel guilty if they have a Southern drawl accent. It's a beautiful accent. I wanted to share that. Okay. The reason why I'm saying this is because the viewers I keep having are from either the south or the east. I don't know why. That's supposed to be the grandma squid, I believe. No, I guess Dumbo's the only one that's here. So Dumbo, I guess we haven't got any new people yet. I'll read your messages. Oh, thank you, Dumbo. That means a lot. Yeah, you remember when Hank did that? Yeah, you like how old animations are better? And you never heard of it, Dumbo? Yeah, it's actually well, it's not based in your state, but I won't be surprised it is because I know Georgians basically have that strong accent. The reason why I want to bring this up because Adult Swim, they say, they got that credit made in Georgia. I think they have headquarters. Or I don't know if the Adult Swim headquarters are from your state, or at least the cartoons are made there, but basically that's what they're kind of known for. And it's kind of funny because a lot of these cartoons that I watched growing up, they do have that deep South accent. I can hear it. So we got another sub. Well, whoever sub, thank you. It'd be nice if more people would comment though. But I mean, I hope we get there. We get a day closer. So, and Dumbo, I'm surprised that you've been checking. Honestly, I didn't know you've been going in and out to check my sub count. Is Scribbly still going? I don't think so. I think it ended, and I guess they had 13 seasons. So yeah, I'm shocked that they even have that many. And let me find another one. I mean, this is for people that are from the South. Shit, I spelled moments incorrectly. Oh, love this.
Worm sign. He's in that cave. Sandy, are you sure? Of course I am. I'm going in, and I ain't coming out till I get a big heap of plate of worm stew.
I love Sandy so damn much.
There you are, you tail-nabbing varmint.
I'm gonna use a tail knot varmint. See, what I like about SpongeBob, I mean, not this sending, is that if you notice, right? I don't think people will point this out. You see the little cute rocks. This is why I love SpongeBob so much because even the older series, I think SpongeBob's gotten better because it's not as wacky, you know, as it should be. Because at least this is what I grew up in when I was in elementary. You can see how detailed the rocks is, and I can't even imagine how long it takes for Steven Hilberg to basically design all of this, or at least for the producers that did this, right? I think the producers, I'm not sure though, at least the art designers, they need a raise for it. People always ignore it. Not to mention, I just love the background. It's really smooth, it's soft, and seeing the flowers, and not to mention the worm that basically Sunny are supposed to basically, kick butt, so to speak. I love how we basically have this old, let's just say, I forget what it's called. Not CGI, of course not AI. My brain is slow. Because it was only at 42%. I'm surprised my Switch lasted this long. It's supposed to be not clay. No, that's not clay animation. It's basically more. It's not Microsoft Paint, but it's like a paint type of animation, right? With drawing, which is what I like about it. Not to mention the mix of 3D, right? You don't see many cartoons like this, which is why SpongeBob is so successful because of how long it takes them to animate these episodes. Yet they made so many. It's really, really ironic to me. Yeah, you see the rocks. It is some detail, isn't it? Because you got a little bit of yellow, you got a little of red, and then you got black, right? And even how they would have the details of the barnacles with those supposed to be those little cute black spots that look like they have legs, basically similar to spiders. It's like that, so to speak. And your sister's favorite SpongeBob character is Sandy. I'm not surprised. I know a lot of Southerners love Sandy. I love Sandy, and yeah, they do deserve a raise because the thing is for me, this is a little weird. I think the new SpongeBob animation is a little uncanny because I mean it looks good. I did see Crooked Quarter reacting to it, but the thing is though, it doesn't feel the same. It feels a little too bright and washed because SpongeBob's animated design in his body doesn't look as dark and droopy as it should. It looks too clean. And I don't like that for some reason. I know that's how it is now. It's been like this for more than a decade now. But that's what I miss about SpongeBob, though. This is more the early 2000s. The early 2000s is what I miss a lot, especially how they got, let's just say, real, actual humans mixed with the characters, or even just people that are in costumes, and whatnot, and they do those funny memes that a lot of people basically know. I was even thinking about doing me ranking SpongeBob memes. I'm thinking about doing a video of it, but I'm not sure how I'm gonna do it though. There's a lot of them. I'll coin name a handful. And I love how they do the bubbles too. Yeah, it's a tongue. You see? I even like how they do that. They give the little it's the close up details. That's what I miss about SpongeBob. I don't know if they still do that. So cute. Pardon? That's his tongue. The way he just blinks. I love the sound effects he used. Oh, it's his tongue. And the whole thing is the worm. What for you? I love how she just goes quiet.
So what's the plan, Sandy? Run faster! I can't buy that. Hey, wait a minute. I was right, wasn't I? Later! He is too big for you, isn't he? I want to hear you say it. Can we talk about this another time?
Yeah, I'm glad you agree with me, Dumbo. Oh, yeah. I want to. Yeah, Patricia. Hello. I was wrong. Happy now? So I'm gonna get copyright. I know how Nickelodeon is. So Dumbo, if I remembered, it's supposed to be I forgot the name though, because they don't have these titles. Oh yeah, I feel really bad for this trucker. How though? Yep, I got copyright. Ooh, it says we detected vetoing your stream belonging to someone else. Shit. All right, I'll stop showing it. I hate that. Yeah, they're really strict with SpongeBob because this is supposed to be the official SpongeBob channel. All right, I'm trying to wait for the warning to go away. This video may get blocked though, but it's whatever. I'm gonna live stream every day, but this kind of sucks because I think I should have shown it a little farther away. I really love animations like this. Hoping it got blocked. And howdy, Patricia. Hope that you've been doing well. I was just basically telling Dumbo of different types of animations and cartoons that I grew up in that he may not know about, especially when I did a little bit of a Southern accent. Hoping if you didn't got blocked because it's stuck on saying heads up. We detected veto in your stream belonging to someone else. Your stream may be temporarily blocked, so I cannot show more SpongeBob because they're struck with it for some dumb reason. So I showed a little bit too long. I hope it go away though. Oh, James is in the bathroom. Okay, good. All right, I just want to make sure. Hopefully that you can still hear me and the video didn't get blocked because I guess